Hey colleagues, welcome back. So this is video 2 of how to create a quiz within Google Forms. In the first video, I showed you how to create a quiz, give it a name, establish some settings, change the color palette, and use the preview button. In video 2, what I'm going to be showing you how to do is adding different types of questions, splitting up a quiz or a test into different sections, how to make questions required, and also how to duplicate questions. All right, so the first thing that you would do is if you wanted to add a question is you would hit the plus sign, and if you hover over it, it says add question. And down below, you'll see it auto-populates to a multiple choice. What you could do is you could actually change this to say a short answer. All right, so I would type in my question, which is when were the first shots fired of the Civil War? And you can see there'll be a dialog box, a short answer text box for students to be able to fill in their response. And I'm going to make this an answer key. And I would give it, it's worth 2 points. As a correct answer, the correct answer is April 12th, 1861. Now, we all know that students can actually put other answers that may be correct but marked wrong. So in other websites that you might use for surveying your class or for using a quiz, it might mark it wrong if they put 1861. What you could do in Google Forms is put multiple correct answers, right? So maybe they'll put April 12th, maybe they'll put April 12th, 1861, right? You could add as many correct answers kind of here as you want, make it worth 2 points. And what you could also do is make this a required question. Right, so they physically can't submit or move on to the next section of the test until they submit it. Submit some sort of an answer, whether it's right or wrong. They just have to fill in the dialog box. Right, so that's how you can make a question required. Now let's add in a new question, and we'll make this one multiple choice. And we'll say, where were the first shots fired of the Civil War? And option 1 could be Gettysburg. Option 2 could be Shiloh. Option 3 could be Fort Sumter. Option 4 could be Bull Run. Now, if you go into the answer key again, and I click on Fort Sumter, see how it turns up in green? That is the correct answer. I will also make this worth 2 points. And then go back to edit the question, right? And the answer is there. You can see the green check mark for the correct answer. You could also add in paragraph responses. So if I hit the plus sign, I do the drop-down menu, and I change this to paragraph response. The question is, which side, north or south, had a strategic advantage at the onset of the Civil War? All right, I'll make that a required question. And say I wanted to split my test into different parts. So only certain parts will pop up. They'd have to answer all the questions on those parts in order to move forward. But I want them on 2 separate sheets. I could actually go up to this question, right? And if I hit the little section button, it will rip my essay question separate from my test. So I'll call this essay question, right? And I want that to be completely separate. So if I hit the preview button, right, you can see the first part of my test is here. It's got the number of questions, how far along the students are, right? And I could answer the questions going through, and where were the first shots fired of the Civil War? Say I put a wrong answer like Gettysburg, right? And then when were the first shots of the Civil War fired? I could put April 12th. Now, notice it shuffled the questions. In the previous video, I showed you how to shuffle the questions. All right, so it'll shuffle the questions within the section. All right, once I hit answer the questions, I can hit next, and it'll take me to the essay question. right? That's over here. And the students can type their answer into the dialog box and hit submit. Right. Now, if I go back to edit, right, out of the preview, edit this form, and I hit leave, right, you could also add in other types of questions. So for example, I want to come back in here, and I want to hit the plus sign, and I want to add in a checkbox question. Right, so which of the following were advantages held by the North? So my option 1 is railroads. Option 2, telegraph wires. Option 3 will be population. And option 4, we'll say home field advantage. Right? And if I went into the answer key, you can select multiple correct answers. So the only one here that wouldn't be correct would be home field advantage. The majority of the battles were actually fought in the South during the Civil War. So these 3 are advantages for the North. Right? And I can come back in to edit the question. And the last one that I want to show you is, how do I set up a chronological order question? Because there is no feature in here to do that. But what you can do is hit the plus sign to add a new question and change it to be a multiple choice grid. So the question is, which events or list the following events in chronological order? So I could put Fort Sumter, Antietam, Appomattox Courthouse, sorry, and Bull Run. In the other columns, you would want to list 1, 2, 3, and 4, right, for chronological order of events. Right now, if I hit the preview button, right, to go through, these would pop up along the top, and then my actual battles that happened would pop up on the left-hand side, right, or events would pop up on the left-hand side, and they could only put one response in each row or column. So what this will do is they can't put that Fort Sumter and Antietam happened first. They would actually have to put 1, 2, 3, and 4 for the different list of events. So just kind of a quick way of how you could add in different types of questions, multiple choice, chronological order, short answer, paragraph, all questions within your Google form.